By the way, it's free. Did I mention it was free? Hey, this is Emily Prokop from epodcastproductions.com. I'm trying out GetVokl. Originally, I was talking about this on my Instagram in my stories, but there's a lot to unpack here. So right now we're looking at the login screen, the first screen you're going to see when you log in, or if you've never been there before. Now you can sign in as a guest and watch some of the streams that are going on. And I'll go into the streams either in this video or in another video to kind of separate this, because it will take about 20 minutes to explain everything that GetVokl does. So if I'm going to sign up, let's talk about signing up. So when you sign up, you can verify yourself with Facebook, your phone number, Twitter, or Patreon. Now, this is really interesting for podcasters, especially if you want to offer exclusive content. You can do that through Patreon. They actually have an integration with Patreon, which is really cool. So you can have people, you can even select which tiers. If you're familiar with Patreon, you can have different tiers of how much people are pledging. So $1 a month or $5 a month. And you can select those tiers of who you want to see your GetVokl broadcast. And as you can see right here, that's kind of the preview of how it looks. You can have up to 4 people. You can lock seats. You can bring in guests. I'll get into all of that, but I do want to sign in first just to kind of show you what this is. So if I wanted to watch a stream and I didn't necessarily want to sign in, I just wanted to see what it was about, I can continue as guest. I can watch any of the streams going on now. This is actually closed. This is how you know how many people are watching. Maybe up to 4 people watching, 6 people watching. Actually, I'll go into the one that I was in before. So we were talking podcasting. As you saw in the other one, people will be sitting in these seats. If you are not signed in, you'll probably be guest 2201. Again, you can't chat unless you're signed in, but you can look at the chat and you can see what's going on. When you do set this up, if you want to get started and have a broadcast, you have a link to share to people to bring them in so they can watch with you. And when these seats aren't locked, there will be a button underneath it for you to join them. If you remember Blab from 2 or 3 years ago, I think they closed maybe 2 years ago. I think 2016 they closed. It's very similar to Blab. It's so cool. I'm so impressed with it. All right, so if I decided to sign up, let's see, I already have a login with Facebook. I don't have one with Twitter, so I'm going to sign in through Twitter and see what happens. All right, so I signed in through Twitter, through an account I barely use anymore, which is really funny that that's the one that this Chrome window has saved. All right, so once they verified me through Twitter, they're going to have a pop-up for you to put your email in. You're not really going to be able to start any live broadcasts that are public until you verify that email. So make sure it's an email that you check. I have to remember what email I haven't used yet. All right, so I put in my email. Since I signed in through Twitter, through a Twitter account I barely use anymore that I made as a joke for like 8 coworkers one time a year ago, I have this fun profile picture. Let's go through these buttons first. So this one is become a broadcaster. This is a preliminary. What do you plan on broadcasting about? How often will you be broadcasting? I put intermittently for how often you'd be broadcasting because I don't necessarily have a schedule set up. But if you do have a schedule, and I think that's what they're looking for is actual shows on a schedule, definitely put that in right there. What other platforms are you currently broadcasting on? And then tell us your Twitter handle, your YouTube channel, or your website. So you're going to request access. What do you plan to broadcast about? General talking. How about that? Intermittently. What other platforms? Let's just say Facebook. Tell us your Twitter handle. All right. Seriously, this is such a joke Twitter account. Request access. Broadcaster access granted. Yay! All right. So next time I click this, I'm going to be setting up my channel. This is separate from your profile. Weirdly, there's a difference. There's a channel and there's your profile. So let's talk about my channel. This is where you're going to want to put what you're going to be talking about. So my channel settings, let's just say general talk. There we go. And I can update the channel URL so it can say something like getvokl.com/general-talk. Description, I'm going to put in general conversation and networking. Sure. Then you can pick a category. You could pick more than one, too. It's kind of hard to read the white on gray background. Let's just put culture. Let's save that. All right, and this is my channel page. This is separate from my profile page, which if I click on my icon will bring me to my profile page. The channel page, though, and that's what's going to come up now when you click on this bullhorn, you can update this picture, you can edit all your descriptions, you can add more of these if you want. And that just means when the platform gets more traction and more people coming on, they can search by genre or what they want to watch. Because these are hashtags. If we let's go to the main page. If you go to the main page, you'll see browser interests, and that's these. So you can look at all these, and they're also under here. So when we talked about podcasting, we were using science and tech. The other thing is they were telling me when I talked to them with hashtags, if they get a lot of requests for a certain one that's not there, they may add it in the future. So that's something to keep in mind, because I was asking them about podcasting and I was like, well, most likely podcasters are going to want to go into the genre that their show is in, as opposed to just podcasting, unless they're podcasting about podcasting, which I think would fall under science and tech, which is where we put that. So I don't have any upcoming broadcasts, but this is where I could schedule a broadcast. Now, this is really important. If you are wanting to go live and using this platform to go live to Facebook or to YouTube or to Periscope, you have to do that through schedule broadcast. I'm going to cancel that for right now because I wanted to show you this plus sign. And this is a private room. I can create a private room. Private room. I almost put private talk. I don't think that would sound great. All right. I'm going to create this room. I'm going to enter this. This just means this will not be on their homepage, and you can talk to somebody privately like you would on Skype. The thing is, you can't record this. You can only record the ones that are actually public on their front page that you would schedule through the bullhorn. For this private one, it would be kind of like Skype. But you could bring 4 people in. You can also share it. So you can make it semi-public for people with a link. And just so you know, these are people in the room. If I wanted to unlock the seat, let's unlock that. I would grab this spot. Let's grab this spot. Now, I have a feeling because OBS is using my camera right now, I might not be able to go live. All right, it's catching my audio, but it's probably not going to catch my camera. No, okay, it's not going to. That's fine. Let's do this. So here I am. It's not letting me necessarily go live with my camera because I'm using it for this video. So that's what it looks like. All right, so let's go back to going live, not in a private room. I'm also going to get to that banana. Yes, I want the current session to end. All right, so when I schedule a broadcast topic, let's just say general talk again, description, general talk. Category, this is where you would pick where it would go. Again, white on gray on white, not like it's fine for me, but I know for colorblind people, that's not the best way to do things. So I'll put education, sure. You can set the date. So you can set a date in advance if you're expecting a guest on. You can set the time. Now these are increments of 1, over here, increments of 15, but you can also type it in. So I could say 33. I want to go live at 10:33. And then you're going to save that. Then it's going to bring you to the share settings, which is underneath. You can automatically add co-hosts that you're friends with. So I'm not friends with anybody, so it's not going to let me do that. You can email invites to people, which would be great for your guest. So you can email them right away that invite of, hey, come to this chat. And so you can see in my profile down here, it already has general talk scheduled live and upcoming. So if somebody comes to my profile, they can see that that's coming up. You could spread the word. You could put a link out. You could put it in LinkedIn, put it to Facebook. If you connect your account to Patreon, you can spread the word on Patreon and put a post there. But what a lot of people are going to love this for is the simulcast settings where you can go live on Facebook, you can go live on YouTube, you can go live on Periscope. Now, I've only gone live on Facebook and I did it in a Facebook page, and I worked with somebody, John Buchanan from Audio Editing Solutions. He went live in a Facebook group. And it's very similar to how you would go live through OBS, where you would go to Facebook, start a live, and instead of go live with that camera, you would go to the Connect tab, get the stream key, plug that in. So if I link to Facebook, it's going to ask for the Facebook. It usually has the server URL already in there, but it's going to ask for that stream key that Facebook is going to give you. The other thing you can do if you plan on going live in your page or in your group or on your homepage a lot, you can save that for future broadcasts, which is great. So the next time you schedule a broadcast, it'll automatically know to go live. One thing I will say, if you schedule a broadcast and you haven't selected this before pressing save at the bottom here, you will not be able to go live afterwards. You have to do this in the setup. So that's really important to note. I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to cancel intern Zach's live broadcast because we are not doing that. All right, so here's my personal GetVokl page. If I click this, it'll take me to my profile. You can update the header. You can update the photo. Here's the email. I don't know why this has a red X on it. I know why, because I need to verify that email address. I changed it. So I need to verify that. Once I verify that email address, there will be a check mark next to it. You can press this to edit the bio. This is my channel. That'll take me back to the page that the bullhorn will take me. Subscription. So I subscribed to some of my friends' channels already, and there are little questions that you can answer to let people know you. Over here on the right are my friends, and you can see who's online. So Matthew is not online because he's kind of grayed out, but other people are, and they're probably watching other streams, which is cool. If I let's click on Bobby. He's awesome. I can see his channel. I can see what he's doing in his channel. I can kind of see, is this where he's hanging out? Or this may be just an upcoming channel of his. And then going back to the homepage, I do want to bring this up. This is the banana. And this is a code of conduct. And we were talking about this when we were talking about podcasting. This is more for the audience. They want a community aspect to this. Community pretty much comes first here. So what it's basically saying is no trolls, respect, don't insult people in the chat room, don't get into fights with people. And we were worried about this right here, offensive language. From what I've gathered, it's okay if you swear on the broadcast. It's okay, I think, if you swear in the chat room. Again, I don't know, so don't necessarily take my word for it, but this is something that we're finding out about. And I'm also going to email Alex, who I talked to earlier today, to see if there are actual guidelines for that. But really what they want is a sense of community and connection. And that's the number one thing. All right. But let's talk about what podcasters want out of this. All right. So I'm going to go to my channel page, or actually I'm going to go to my profile. All right. So that's about me. I'm going to go to my channel. Now, I don't have any upcoming broadcasts, but I recorded one earlier. And the great thing about this, watch this. I'm going to click these three dots here on that broadcast. First of all, I can watch it again. You don't get the chat again. That's really interesting, is when I watch it again, you don't get the chat. But when I click on here, I can download that video. I can put that video on YouTube. If I didn't remember to broadcast live to Facebook, I can grab that video and put it up on Facebook. And then here's the other one, is you download the audio. How cool is that for podcasters? Now, right now, what you're going to get is one track. They said that they are working on multi-track, but that might be something that they'll charge for later. That's just something to keep in mind. I don't know this for a fact, but I wouldn't be surprised if that comes under a paid tier. The thing to take into consideration if you're a podcaster and you want to use this for your podcast and you want to use this to record, by the way, it's free. Did I mention it was free? Is you're going to get one track. And so when you press download audio, it's going to take you to this very generic black screen. And you can click on these three dots and download it. Now, as you can see underneath, it came out as an MP3. So here it is as an MP3. If I bring it into, I'm going to bring it into Reaper for a second. So here's Reaper. This is what I use to edit audio and make podcasts. I'm going to bring in that file that they sent me to look at it. All right, so it's coming in stereo. It actually looks pretty good. Now, I record pretty cleanly anyway, so it's not like I'm going to see all the spikes. All right, okay. I like it. I'm going to listen to it to see the quality, though. Yeah. I work with a bunch of podcasters, and I was just talking to Alex from GetVokl, and we were just talking about how podcasters, if you guys know podcasters, if we see a free tool like this that'll also record for us, it's like, oh my gosh, seagulls on a French fry in a parking lot. It's like everyone's going to come. Yeah, they are. They are going to come. Because I think this is really cool. This kind of picks up where Blab left off. If you hear podcasters talking about Blab, they usually have RIP that they mention at the end of it because we really missed it. And I feel like we kind of put Blab through the ringer as far as, oh, well, can we have this? Can we have this? And also, we don't want to pay because podcasters are notoriously cheap. But there are certain things that I will happily pay for. If it's something like this, where it gives me good quality audio, great quality video, they do have the option to go HD. And I will say if you go HD, make sure you're probably hardwired in and you have good internet. And one thing I should mention, so when you go live, if you're doing this and you are the host, you have to be using a desktop. Other people can call in. They have mobile apps. They have an Android app. They have an iPhone app. Other people can call in and fill seats using the app via mobile. And it's really cool. They can do it that way. They can also watch and comment via mobile. Again, a lot like Blab. I'm sorry if you've never heard of Blab before and I keep bringing it up, but I mean, that's really the best comparison. I'm going to go back to the other account and somewhere they have a walkthrough. So when you're on the home page and you've never done this before, I'm not giving the best presentation because I'm still very new at it. But I would say go under this menu over here, go to About Us, and go to the Get Started guide. And this will walk you through all the steps you need to get your broadcast up, how to schedule it, all the cool things you can do. And I was on the phone with Alex for about an hour, and I think we went through this. He kind of walked me through a lot of the things that it can do, a lot of the things it can do for podcasters. And that took about 30 minutes. The rest is me just asking questions. One thing I remember being a problem for Blab was people jumping into the chat or into your window and not being able to kick them out. With this, you do have control over the chat. So if you see something in the chat you don't like, you can press the X and delete that comment. You can also kick people out and it will say something like, the host has asked you to step down. And you can block people. So if there are trolls, you can block them. I'm sure there's a way that you can report them as well. I'm sure that's probably coming. So that's pretty much GetVokl. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming down the line that they've talked to me about. For right now, they're getting people to use the platform and they're taking a lot of feedback. That's one of the things I really liked when talking to Alex was he was asking me questions and he was asking, how do you think podcasters are going to use it? Is going live something that podcasters are looking to do more of? And depending on your source, depending on your show, going live can be really great. I know a lot of coaches who love going live on Facebook because they get that automatic interaction and they've taken people live for mini coaching sessions. So I think this is a really cool platform to check out and I'm excited to learn more about it. So I hope you like this video. And if you have any questions, please email me, emily@epodcastproductions.com. And links for everything, any of my equipment, for GetVokl, for my channel. Please subscribe to my GetVokl channel And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe over here too, because sometimes I make videos, but for the most part, I'm on Instagram, which I'll also put in the description. So come find me on Instagram. I love Instagram. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.